guys, what's up? It's Sarah. I've got a book video for you today. So this is my fiance, Peter. I don't know where I first saw this, but I saw this kind of book tag going around where basically you take a non-reader or somebody who doesn't read a lot of, a particular genre, and you show them kind of popular books that everybody knows in that genre, and they have to make up what they think the plot is based on the cover and the title. So Peter doesn't read a lot of fiction, or really any at all. So I thought I would do, a number of young adult titles that you guys are all familiar with, I'm sure. Alright, so let's go.
Let's do it.
So the first book we have is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. So what do you think this is about?
Well, Rainbow Rowell is a fan of rainbows. She's a girl, and she wrote a really thick book about loving rainbows.
Like what do you think happens in this?
Well, I see a little computer and it says a novel. So it looks like a writer, and she loves rainbows, but there's this guy, and he distracts her from the rainbows. But then in the end, they come together and they both love rainbows.
Okay, now you realize Rainbow Rowell is the author.
Yes.
So this book is probably not about rainbows.
Yeah, maybe.
I know, it's difficult.
I feel like if your name's Rainbow, you're gonna have something about rainbows.
The real plot of this book is there's a girl who basically writes Harry Potter fan fiction. This is a fictional version of Harry Potter.
Is this the gay Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
great.
She writes basically like gay Harry Potter fan fiction, but it's not actually Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And
I know there was some people fantasizing about that while watching or reading.
So yeah, it's kind of about her life, and she has this sort of romance with this guy, and it's I'm not really
well,
doing
the rainbow.
a good job
The rainbow
it.
is very loosely connected, kind of.
No.
Hey,
well, yeah,
it's gay
okay,
fan fiction.
The gay fan fiction. All right. Next book that we have is Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. Laini Taylor. Okay, so what do you think happens in this book?
Okay, this is based in New Orleans, maybe? Yeah, see this? And she smokes a shit ton of bones.
She smokes a shit ton of bones. I don't even know what that, would mean.
A joint.
Oh, okay. So is that, marijuana, lingo? Bones?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, this is marijuana fan fiction.
Okay, so marijuana fan fiction.
But based in New Orleans.
Not at all what it is. It's basically, this really... It's kind of a weird fantasy book. It's actually really cool. So it's basically like a fantasy book about this girl who it's very hard to explain, but she is basically
she could also be a flapper, maybe.
Okay, he doesn't care what it's about. Okay, so the next book we have is If I Stay by Gail Forman. So what do you think this book is about?
I believe this book is probably about a relationship. Maybe a bad one. And, if she stays, it could be bad. And what would you do if you had to choose?
Oh my god. So you're just going extra literal with this, really?
Yeah.
So you think, she's trying to choose whether or not to stay in, an abusive relationship?
Yes, that's what I would.
Okay, that's not at all what this book is about. It's about a girl who gets into a car accident, and she is in a coma. And
she's deciding whether to stay in the coma or not.
Yeah, she really is. She's deciding whether to
is she locked in
stay
syndrome?
Alive or not.
Does she have locked in syndrome?
No, well, she's in a coma, but her body is she's having kind of this out of body experience where she is,
cool. That sounds awesome.
Evaluating her life, and her family has died in this car crash, and she's the only one that survived. So she's deciding whether she wants to stay or go.
She probably wants to die and be with her family. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Right on.
It's actually really good.
Yeah, I probably love it. I don't know why I haven't given them a chance. I will. Now I'm marrying a fiction writer. I guess I better read her book, huh?
Yeah, he needs to read my book. Okay, so the next book we have is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern.
Okay. The Night Circus. You know, I've met carnies before. And at night they do some crazy shit.
So what do you think happens?
Well, I think that these carnies, they travel all over the country and they do some wild shit at night. Yeah, it's just memoirs of carnies.
Memoirs of carnies. I mean, well, I wouldn't call them carnies, but I guess they are. But it's more of like a fantasy.
Yeah, carnival
and they have
circus
this like
isn't really the
magical
same.
kind of circus.
Oh wow!
And
Like,
it's only at night. It's really cool.
oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah, actually, I think you would like this book. Well, yeah, maybe you can get the audio book. It doesn't really have like the attention span
I have
for
ADD
fiction.
like a champ. But I do read.
Yeah, he reads a lot.
Mostly philosophy, religion, some science. Which might be why I can't really pay attention to the books I'm reading, so maybe I should try fiction.
Okay, so the last book we have is called The Walls Around Us by Nova Rensuma.
Shout out to Nova Rensuma. I think this is probably about, some emotional walls that are built up, and they're trying to break free from them.
So what happens?
So what happens is she breaks down these walls, and it's just like an epic story of her overcoming all these emotional issues.
So the actual plot of this book is it's been described as Orange is the New Black meets Black Swan.
Oh.
So it's about this ballerina who is accused of murdering these girls and is sent to prison. And so the whole thing kind of takes place in this
another book that I would probably love.
You would love this book.
This.
And
Right.
Nova Rensuma is awesome.
All right. Well, I hope that was fun for y'all.
Well, that's all we've got for today. Hope you enjoyed meeting my fiance, Peter. Thanks for watching, and
don't forget to subscribe
if you'd like to see more videos about books, writing, or music. And yeah, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.